One of the last things many will wish to do after a cycle is to recap. It's tough, it's unpleasant, it means reviewing things that we just want to forget. And most likely it means looking back on a time in our lives that we hope or even believe will never recur. However, it is unfortunate that oftentimes it will recur. Many of the hallmarks will be similar, and a good few mitigation tools that were employed can be used again in the future. Moreover, it's entirely possible that noticing the early signs, taking preventative and protective measures, may prevent full-blown mania or hypermania, or may enable an easier return from depression. Whilst it is unlikely that advanced warnings will prevent the cycle altogether, it may make it a lot easier. I'm quite fortunate in this cycle to have made a few videos and taken many photos, from which I can monitor, with hindsight, my moods throughout. I've never done this before, but it will provide me with visual evidence of various stages of the cycle. Even just the videos of the first 3 interviews, filmed over 3 days, will be a benefit, and that was only a secondary benefit. The primary purpose was to promote awareness. However, if you don't take videos or photos, try to remember and write down the key parts of your cyclical journey. Note down things that you did, any triggers, any impacts, the medication you were on, including dosage, which you can certainly get from your GP or physician, and any attributes of your mood at this time, before, during, and after an episode. You don't need to consider this from a medical perspective, just what works for you and what you will understand, particularly when you may not be of your usual sound mind. I did mention mood, which is clearly one of the main contributory factors and the clearest identifier to any cycle. I'll be honest, I've always considered I can track my mood without the need to write it down, use apps or other tools. Indeed, when I was first diagnosed, apps were not available, and it was either a simple web-based journal or a paper-based diary. Furthermore, and with the best will in the world, many years after my last episode, it's unlikely I would still have been filling one out now. However, tracking mood is known to be one of the easiest ways to recognise a cycle, and the ideal part is that most of the mood trackers allow for data to be exported and shared with family, your friend or your psychiatrist or your GP. Bipolar UK have their own, and I'm now going to start using it daily. In all honesty, I would say that even by having all the tools in your box that I have just discussed, you may struggle to identify your own signs of elevation. Not quite so much where depression is concerned. In fact, even if you can identify heightened mood, even if it's heading to mania or hypermania when you're in the zone, you may still be powerless to stop. Indeed, it's perfectly possible, and to me extremely understandable, that you may not wish it to end. Clearly, the time lag between swings may change your viewpoint. But if you've had years of suppressed or flat mood, the idea of entering hypermania or even mania can easily appear inviting, in the same way that a pub with an open fire is irresistible when you've spent 8 hours outside in freezing cold winter. This is where you need others. People who will also monitor your mood, who will suggest when it's becoming high, and who will have the powers to intervene, either through knowing your medication, knowing your medical team, or simply by making you go to bed. The only way you can ensure this is to strike while the iron is hot. Discuss the illness. Provide them with reading material. Ask them to attend an appointment with one or more of your general medical support workers. Have regular mood chats. Even show them these videos. Anything that will make them more aware of the illness and the signs to watch out for. However, and as a word of warning, you may find that they will become overprotective, will identify signs that aren't there. I had it in an early episode where I was laughing and joking, and one of my close friends was concerned about the onset of full-blown mania. But that's a natural response.